myself as well as Jim, another Big Island resident Corey Harden, and an Oahu resident Luella Leonardi from Waianae. When we found out about this, we decided to challenge the Army's application for a license to possess the depleted uranium, and we're denied standing, each one of us. So I'm the only one that stepped forward and appealed that decision. This is a very brief response to Kyle Kajihiro, a FOIA request to see if there was any depleted uranium, and they told him straight no in 2001. Then in 2005, this is an email from the military and their private contractor where they found depleted uranium. So according to the Army Corps of Engineers investigation, they used it in Davy Crockett's field nuclear weapon launcher. It fires a 52-pound nuclear bomb, and they used it in the spotting rounds, which would give you an estimate area where the bomb would land. The Army used that depleted uranium in Hawaii from 1962 to 1968, and this is a copy of their license, which expired in 1964. We had a teleconference with the folks up in Maryland, and you want to, I guess, determine if there was any basis in my request for enforcement, and they found that there was a valid request, so they've opened a enforcement investigation into the unlawful possession of the depleted uranium.
The fact that Isaac's involved in this and raising this license question, that they don't have a license and yet they're continuing bombing an area where they're illegally possessing depleted uranium, it seems it's ripe for legal action. Restraining order, perhaps, to halt the activity.
I worked with Emily Nioli's office in 2008, and she drafted this resolution 639-08, and it passed. The key point of the resolution was there were 8 action points, but number 1 was stopping all live fire, and these B-2 inert bombings from Guam, and anything that could create dust that could disperse this. That's the key point of the resolution, until monitoring and cleanup is done. That's what the resolution called for. And the military has ignored that resolution. We met with Colonel Morgada, I believe Morgada his name is, he's the garrison commander, and he dismissed it. I remember his hand motion. It's only a resolution. And then he said, stopping live fire is not going to happen. Even though the Army gives a lot of lip service to protecting public health, having the concerns of the community, but stopping live fire is not going to happen. Despite the fact that they haven't done proper monitoring to see the extent of off-base contamination. The County Council, in addition to passing this resolution in July of '08, they passed another resolution unanimously, naming Dr. Pang as the official county representative for the Army to be dealing with in terms of a community committee on radiation. They also got a lease from the state, the Army, in the Waikea Forest Reserve along Steinbach Highway to do what they said was weather testing. Well, they weren't doing weather testing. They were testing sarin gas in the Hilo watershed and other chemical weapons. When Patsy Mink disclosed that, people said, cancel the lease. And they did. So I think the parallel is there, that now they've contaminated the land with radioactivity. This is government crown lands up there. It's time, I think, to really raise the cry, cancel the lease again. It's the analogy I use is, if you were leasing your house to somebody and they were trashing it, you'd cancel the lease. That's just something the average people can identify with.
Yeah.
We have to stop live fire and other activities. Now the County Democratic Party Convention on May 1st passed a resolution calling for a cleanup at Pohakuloa, and it's going to be referred to the State Democratic Party too.
I also have a letter from Congressional Subcommittee on Energy and the Environment to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and they're writing with great concern of the Commission's recent action to classify depleted uranium as a Class A waste, and goes on to say that the decision has been taken in apparent disregard for the fact that depleted uranium poses a risk to the health and safety that is greater than other Class A waste. So a lot of people understand that this stuff is dangerous, except for the people that are regulating the possession and use of it.